I'm calling your church to test to see if they are willing to help feed a starving baby.
This woman is going viral for calling up churches saying that my baby is starving, I've run out of formula, can you help me? All of the churches say no, except so far 2 black churches and 1 mosque.
28 no's, 9 yeses. 28 no's, 9 yeses. Ladies calling around churches saying that she has a 2-month-old baby that hasn't eaten because they ran out of formula, and she got a little baby crying in the background. She's not real, but she's testing the churches out to see who would say yes and no to a starving baby. 28 of them would say no. 28. 9 said yes. There was this old guy. He was like, I'm a great granddaddy, but he took the number and the name down, and he was ready to go himself. And I thought that was the blueprint. But apparently, those 20 other churches forgot the blueprint somewhere. I don't know. They're asking her questions like, did you call here? How about here? The Salvation Army, this, that, and the third? No, she called you, and you're not helping. You're failing. You're failing the test right now. One of them said that she needed to be a member in order to receive like assistance like that. Another one said she could be put on a wait list that'll take a few days up to a week. That's crazy. The child is hungry now just for me. $51.99. $48.99, $187 for a 6-pack, $75.99, $39.99. You telling me the church don't got $100 to give this lady one little formula? You don't got $100 to give this lady. She got to go through all these hoops and happy holidays, I guess.
Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So I came across this lady's video on TikTok where she was calling churches and was asking for a formula for her 2-month-old baby. And guess what? She was calling different churches and most of the bigger churches didn't even help. It was surprising, right? It was surprising to a lot of people. Why some people were like, you know what, this confirms what we already know, what we already seen for years. So a lot of these churches turned her down, some of them questioning if she actually attends their church or why she's asking them. So many of them was even, recommending her to other places and telling her she should check other churches instead of helping her. How much does a formula cost actually? How much does it cost? And she actually put a sound on the background that, had a crying baby on it, and yet none of them were touched. Anyway, I'm going to let the rest of the videos roll, then I'll come back with more commentary. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, and credit to all creators on this video. Let's go watch.
So I'm calling your church to test to see if they would help feed a starving baby. And right now I'm about to call Germantown Baptist Church located in Memphis, Tennessee. And we are going to see if they would be willing to feed a starving baby.
Thank you for calling Germantown Baptist Church. Please listen carefully as our menu options have changed. Press 1 for our address. Press 2 for worship service information, or press 0 for the operator.
Germantown Baptist Church.
Hiya, I was wanting to see if you all could help with a small can of baby formula.
If we can help with what, I'm sorry.
Like a small can of baby formula.
Let me get the pastor on call for you. Let me place you on a hold. One moment, please.
Thank you for calling Germantown Baptist Church. Please listen carefully as our menu options have changed.
Thank you, ma'am. I saw you hung up, and I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to call her back. But my system was jammed up, so I couldn't see who was actually on call. And I'm like, what is going on? And it's not working. And I usually print that out, and I didn't this time. But I'm just gonna walk back there and see. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. 1 moment.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, yes. I was just wanting to see if y'all were able to help with baby formula at all.
We unfortunately are not. We have a benevolence program, but it is for our members.
It's just for the members, because like I have a 2-month-old and she hasn't ate like since last night, so she's gone all night and all day without any formula. Like I don't need money or anything. I just need like a small little can, and I've been calling everywhere and they're just telling me to call churches, and I just don't know what else to do.
Yeah, I mean we don't have any formula here to give out. We don't have any kind of food bank or anything like that.
Would it be something y'all could get and I could pick it up?
What's that?
Would it be something you all would be able to get and I can pick it up?
Well, like I said, if it's anything like that, our benevolence is for our members.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Am I really the only one who's not surprised that there are so many churches that are saying no to that girl doing the social experiment? If you don't already know, there's a girl on here who's calling a bunch of churches and places of worship to ask them if they would help feed her child. Well, she's asking for a can of formula, and she has like a crying baby in the background. And most of the churches, most of the white Christian churches, have just told her no or worse. The ones that have said yes to her have been historically black churches, an Islamic mosque, and I think an Appalachian church, which is entirely unsurprising to me, at least. And I'm actually surprised how many people are surprised of the results, because in my experience of being a human on this earth, disenfranchised people, black people, brown people, Muslim people, whatever, what have you, all types of disenfranchised people are the ones that form community. They form real community with each other, and they're the ones that are generous. They're the ones that know true generosity. So her results are entirely unsurprising to me, and to be completely honest, I'm surprised so many of you are surprised.
I'm calling your church to test to see if they are willing to help feed a starving baby.
This woman is going viral for calling up churches saying that my baby is starving, I've run out of formula, can you help me? All of the churches say no, except so far 2 black churches and 1 mosque. And I don't want to sell this, but this feels to me like our selling of indulgences moment, where, like, you know, in the late medieval period, the church was selling indulgences, the bishops were living very lavishly, they were building these really, you know, grand cathedrals, and the poor were starving. And it was very much part of the Reformation and kind of the decline of the power of the church, because they were dressed in gold and people are starving. To the point where if you were just an average person, if you supported the church, it became like embarrassing. Like, you support that? Like, that's so embarrassing for you. Like, I'm embarrassed for you. So now we're in a situation where people are being affected by the government shutdown, and here's the chance for the churches. This is the deal that we made you, that you don't have to pay taxes, and in return, you're doing soup kitchens, you're doing, you know, homeless stuff, you're doing addiction recovery, you're doing, you know, you are providing service to the community. That's the deal that we made. And it's very clear, and love her videos going viral here, that it's very clear that you have not held up your end of the deal. So there is something here. I'm feeling a vibe here. It's like the combination of like the Wall Street Journal article that shows that the Mormon Church has billions of dollars. It's an investment wing. Not a single dollar of it goes to humanitarian aid. Not a single dollar of it goes to taxes. And then, you know, people calling churches and they just saying, you know, like, we can't help you. That's not what we do. And then you combine that with kind of a blue wave. We're starting to see some fractures with this power dynamic of church and state and Christian nationalism. And historically, why this is exciting for me, I got super excited when I kind of saw her going viral, is historically when trust breaks, the public demands either reform or kind of punishment. It's essentially her calling churches saying, you claim moral authority, prove it, and then kind of hanging up on her. This happened even in Spain in the 20th century, where the church was hoarding. They had collected all of the land, and they were hoarding the land and a significant amount of wealth. And they got enough public support that the state was able to basically force sell-offs of the church and basically say, no, this land belongs to the public now. We may be a long way from true reform. In France, for example, they actually removed the tax-exempt status from Jehovah's Witnesses and also like retroactively taxed them, which was really interesting. We may be a long way from that because when religion combines with politics, that marriage, it's just so powerful that it takes a long time in order to break that marriage up. But we're seeing some cracks, and I think it's positive.
I'm positive most of you have seen the lady who's calling the churches, asking them to help feed her 2-month-old baby who has been without formula at least overnight. And I don't know the ratio, but there are some churches that will absolutely drop what they are doing and give you $32 for a can of formula, but a lot will not. And I was talking about this social experiment on Facebook, and one of my friends said, she should call the VFW. She should call the Eagles Hall. She should call the bar down the street and watch how fast she will get $32 for a can of formula. Because all those sinners will make sure a baby doesn't go hungry, right? Right.
Hi, this is Katie with Storyside Church.
Hi, yeah, I was calling to see if y'all could help with formula at all. I have a 2-month-old baby, and we ran out last night, so she's been going all day without anything to eat.
Oh, I hear you. Where are you located?
I'm only like 20 minutes from you all.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me ask her and see what we can do.
Okay, thank you.
Even if not every church had baby formula on hand or had the funds to acquire baby formula through their official church budget in that moment, I just assumed more people would respond like Papa and would be so horrified that they're hearing a hungry baby crying that they would take that money out of their own wallet and, run over to the Walmart themselves to make sure they could get baby girl fed. I saw a reverend on here today saying there are a lot of people throwing stones, and what does the Bible say about casting stones? Instead of throwing those stones, why don't you donate money to your local food bank or a GoFundMe? Bitch, we can multitask. Reverend hypocrite. I can call you good for nothing and also donate to my local food bank. Oh, and that pastor that was like, oh, churches get scammed all the time. We just can't be handing out things willy-nilly. It's formula. She was asking for enough to get her through the day. What do you think, she's gonna cook meth with it? You think she's gonna snort that shit? And even if she did, that's not your business. Your business is a baby who is hungry has been presented to you. If some psycho bitch chooses to, I don't know, make snow angels with the formula instead of giving it to said baby, you did your damnedest. You did your best. That's all the Lord can ask of you.
So to think that it was only 2 black churches that helped and 1 mosque that helped her out. Like, this is somebody that, calling churches. And I'm so surprised because churches are actually supposed to help you in time of need. I think that's the whole essence of church, is to help people when they need help. But I'm surprised that some people are now seeing it as a place where people get rich and not help anybody in need. This is somebody calling for just formula for her 2-month-old baby. It's not like she's asking for a 500K. I saw a pastor who was talking about how churches are always being scammed and all that. This is a woman asking for formula. What happened to buying the formula and tell her to come and pick it at some place if at all you feel that it was a scam or something? You would have bought that formula, tell her where to pick it up from. But none of that thing happened. None of them actually did that. They were even refusing her. Some of them were saying, we're sorry, we don't have any formula. Some were saying, oh, we are open only so day. That's the only day we can help. So the baby should be hungry till whenever you are open to give. And I am so shocked that some people are actually defending these churches and their attitude. Well, let's take a look at the comment section. Someone said, I would love to know if it was Protestant or Catholic churches that said no. My money is on Protestant churches. Okay, this one said, this is why so many of us millennials have left the church. We have seen this up close and are not relating this anymore. And yes, there are a lot of people who have left the church today just because of what they have seen, just because of what is happening in churches, just because the church did not care for them when they needed the help. A lot of people needed help, but church never came for them. I've seen people actually say that why they left churches because when they were sick, nobody cared, nobody stood out for them, nobody, came to even visit or even care for them when they needed help. There was one lady that was sharing her story one time about her dad being a very strong member of a particular church, and the dad would always go above and beyond to, contribute for the church, give all that she has, just do so many things to make sure that the church is, whenever they need somebody, whenever they need help, he's always there. So when the dad finally fell sick, nobody turned in, nobody came to check. When they needed money, the mom went to the church and cried and told them that the money they had, they have spent it all in hospital bills and they still need some money for hospital. The church didn't come. So I am not surprised that a lot of people are leaving the church today just because of this, because the church did not care for them when they really needed the help from the church. And this has become like a norm for a long time. I just keep wondering, what is the value in which the church, what is the values in which the church stands for, if not to help the needy? Because even olden churches, in the olden days, those churches were an example to us Christians because they were always ready to help the needy, always ready to give a helping hand. Okay, and most of the tithes and offering that comes into the church was used to help the people who do not have. But these days, it's as if they have other plans. Okay, it shocks me that some churches do not have like a platform that provides help for the needy. So what in God's name is a church for again? Anyway, this one said, my African American neighbor told me I was denying them the opportunity to sow their blessings when I turned down help. Completely flipped my understanding of Christianity on his hand. I'm not Christian. I have had minimal, exposure to religion. Okay, this one said clearly that wall of books behind her. Okay, and this one said Catholics, though you forgot to mention, so a particular Catholic church also offered help. So multiple white churches said no, but the majority of all churches said no. Okay, anyway, my family grew up in a Mormon church, and this was a constant battle. We were made to believe like the lost sheep they had saved because my mother was poor and we were Hispanic. It was like pulling teeth to ask for food and assistance, so we only ever did once. I have since deconstructed, and I wish I could share how all my experience fit into this analysis. I feel for all the POC who have been through white nationalist religion. Okay, I have never heard a more clearer abdication or the gospel than our benevolence is for our members. Like, how can your help be only for your members and not for any other person? Most of these people do not care if someone is crying. Like, that woman literally put a sound of a baby crying on the background so they could literally hear that baby cry. Yet none of them offered to help a crying baby, for God's sake. A baby that needed just a formula. How much is formula again? For those people saying most churches are being scammed, like, how much is formula? This woman wasn't asking for $100,000. She was just asking for formula for her 2-month-old baby. Yet the church turned her down. And this is one of the reasons why most people are leaving the church in droves. Because we're meant to be helping and not, just take and not help at any point. You don't care, you don't help. Sometimes you just the least care. Check on your members, call them on phone, check on them. How are you today? Are you doing well? It could just be that. But some of them just turn their back on you and don't care. It's been a thing for a long time, and I guess that is why it is as if you see many millennials, leaving churches. Some of them have decided we grew up with our parents in church, and now it's time to leave. I don't blame them sometime, okay, because the church, when they show you shege, like we say it in Nigeria, you just want to deconstruct. But I just hope most of them learn their lessons if possible. Anyway, guys, let me know what your own take are in the comments. Let's have that conversation. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. And credit to all creators on this video. See you all on my next. Bye, guys.